Hello students, welcome to Social Science class. Let us learn the continuation part of Bahamani Adil Shahs. In this video, we are going to learn about Shah Dynasties of Bahamani Adil Shahs or Bahamani Kingdom. After Muhammad Gawan, Bahamani Kingdom did not continue its rule strongly. The sultans who came to power after Muhammad III were incompetent to rule. After Muhammad III, Muhammad came to power, but he was a little boy and could not rule the kingdom. The last king of Sultan Kalimullah Shah, after his death, Bahamani kingdom was broke into 5 states of Shahi. 5 Shahi dynasties are Adil Shahs of Vijayapura, Barid Shahs of Bidar, Qutub Shahs of Golconda, Nizam Shahs of Ahmadnagar, Imam Shahs of Berar. These are the 5 Shahi dynasties. First, we are going to learn about Adil Shahs of Vijayapura. Yusuf Adil Shah was the founder of Adil Shahs dynasty of Vijayapura. He was a good administrator and tolerant towards other religions. After him, Ibrahim Adil Shah II came to power. Ibrahim Adil Shah II ruled by 1580 to 1626 CE. Ibrahim Adil Shah II was the great king among other sultans. Kingdom was expanded and became rich during his period. He had a title called Jagat Guru Badshah. He was a tolerant of other religions. He sheltered many Hindu philosophers, poets, and musicians in his court. He renovated Datta temple in his fort and encouraged puja rituals. He worked for the cultural harmony of Hindu-Muslim. He wrote a book called Kutub-i-Navras and tried to make music popular among Muslims. The book begins with worshipping the gods like Ganapati, Saraswati, Bhairava and others. He himself was a great musician. Ibrahim Roza, which is famous for its architecture, was built by him. ಎರಡನೇ ಇಬ್ರಾಹಿಂ ಅವರು ವಿಜಯಪುರದ ಸುಲ್ತಾನರಲ್ಲಿ ಶ್ರೇಷ್ಠರಾದವರು. ಇವರ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ರಾಜ್ಯ ವಿಸ್ತಾರಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದಲ್ಲದೆ ಸಮೃದ್ಧಿಯನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಹೊಂದಿತ್ತು. ಇವರಿಗೆ ಜಗದ್ಗುರು ಬಾದ್ಶಾ ಎಂಬ ಬಿರುದನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಇತ್ತು. ಇಬ್ರಾಹಿಂ ಧರ್ಮ ಸಹಿಷ್ಣುವಾಗಿದ್ದಲ್ಲದೆ ಅನೇಕ ಕವಿಗಳಿಗೆ, ವಿದ್ವಾಂಸರಿಗೆ, ಸಂಗೀತಗಾರರಿಗೆ ಆಶ್ರಯವನ್ನು ನೀಡಿದರು. ಕೋಟೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ದತ್ತಾತ್ರೇಯ ದೇವಸ್ಥಾನಗಳನ್ನು ದುರಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡಿಸಿದರು. ಹಿಂದೂ ಮುಸ್ಲಿಂಗಳ ನಡುವೆ ಸಾಂಸ್ಕೃತಿಕ ಐಕ್ಯತೆಯನ್ನು ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಶ್ರಮಿಸಿದರು. ಉರ್ದು ಭಾಷೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕಿತಾಬ್-ಇ-ನವರಸ್ ಎಂಬ ಪುಸ್ತಕವನ್ನು ಬರೆದು ಮುಸ್ಲಿಮರಲ್ಲಿ ಜನಪ್ರಿಯಗೊಳಿಸಲು ಅದನ್ನು ಪ್ರಯತ್ನಪಟ್ಟರು, ಜನಪ್ರಿಯಗೊಳಿಸಿದ್ರು ಕೂಡ. ಈ ಕೃತಿ ಹಿಂದೂ ದೇವತೆಗಳಾದ ಸರಸ್ವತಿ, ಗಣಪತಿ, ಭೈರವ ಮುಂತಾದವರ ಸ್ತುತಿಯಿಂದನೇ ಆರಂಭ ಆಗೋ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಕೃತಿಯನ್ನು ಬರೆದಿದ್ರು. ಭವ್ಯವಾದ ವಾಸ್ತುಶಿಲ್ಪವನ್ನು ಇಬ್ರಾಹಿಂ ರೋಜಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಇವರದೇ ರಚನೆ ಮೂಲಕ ಅದನ್ನು ಕಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು. We are going to know about Barid Shahs of Bidar. It's ruled from 1489 to 1619 CE. When Bahamani state was scattered into many provinces, Barid Shahs ruled Deccan's Bidar and other regions around it. Qasim Barid was the founder of this dynasty. After him, Ibrahim and his brother Qasim, who ruled Bidar, were incompetent king. And because of their inner conflicts, this dynasty declined. Then Ibrahim Adil Shah of Bijapur captured Bidar like this. Barid Shah kingdom was merged into Ibrahim's Bijapur state. Barid was the founder of this Barid Shah's dynasty in Bidar. Ibrahim and his brother Qasim ruled Bidar, but who were not able to rule Barid Shah's dynasty. ಕಾಸಿಂ ಬರೀದ್ ಇವರು ಬರೀದ್ ಶಾ ಡೈನಸ್ಟಿ ಸಾಮ್ರಾಜ್ಯದ ಸ್ಥಾಪಕರಾಗಿದ್ದರೆ ಅವರು ಮತ್ತು ಅವರ ಸಹೋದರರು ಸೇರಿ ಈ ಡೈನಸ್ಟಿಯನ್ನು ರೂಲ್ ಮಾಡೋದರಲ್ಲಿ ಅಸಮರ್ಥರಾಗಿದ್ದರು. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಜಯಪುರದ ಇಬ್ರಾಹಿಂ ಆದಿಲ್ ಶಾ ಬೀದರನ್ನು ವಶಪಡಿಸಿಕೊಂಡರು. ಬರೀದ್ ಶಾಹಿ ರಾಜ್ಯ ಇಬ್ರಾಹಿಂನ ವಿಜಯಪುರ ರಾಜ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಲೀನ ಆಯಿತು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಲರ್ನ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ Qutub Shahs of Golconda, ruled from 1512 to 1687 CE. Quli Qutub Shah. He was the founder of independent Golconda state. He ruled the state with a good administration and in 1543 CE. He was killed by his own son, ruler of this dynasty, Ibrahim. He had compassion for Hindu religion and there were many Hindu officers in his administration. During his ruling, he made Golconda a beautiful city. He changed his capital from Golconda to Hyderabad in 1589 CE. After him, Abdul Qutub Shah, Abdul Hassan and others came to power, but they were incompetent kings and later Golconda surrendered to the Mughals. Next dynasty is Nizam Shahs of Ahmadnagar, ruled from 1490 to 1636 CE. In 1490 CE, Malik Ahmad, who was a chief of Junnar province, founded his own state of Ahmadnagar and established Nizam Shah dynasty. He took Daulatabad under his control and expanded empire. After him, Burhan, Hussain, Nizam Shah, Murtaz were sultans just for namesake. With the death of Chand Bibi, Ahmadnagar declined. And later in 1637 CE, during the period of Shah Jahan, Mughal king, Ahmadnagar was merged into Mughal state. ಮಲ್ಲಿಕ್ ಅಹಮದ್ ಇವರು ಜುನ್ನಾರಿನ ಪ್ರಾಂತಾಧಿಕಾರಿಯಾಗಿದ್ದ ನಿಜಾಂ ಶಾಹಿ ರಾಜವಂಶದ ಸ್ಥಾಪಕರಾಗಿದ್ದರು. ಇವರು ಸ್ವತಂತ್ರವಾದ ಅಹಮದ್ ನಗರವನ್ನು ಸ್ಥಾಪಿಸಿದರು. ಇವರು ದೌಲತಾಬಾದನ್ನು ತನ್ನ ಅಧಿಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡು ರಾಜ್ಯವನ್ನು ವಿಸ್ತರಿಸಿದರು, ಅಂದರೆ ದೊಡ್ಡದಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಈತನ ನಂತರ ಬುರ್ಹಾನ್, ಹುಸೇನ್, ನಿಜಾಂ ಶಾ, ಮುರ್ತುಜಾ ಹೆಸರಿಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಸುಲ್ತಾನರಾಗಿದ್ದರು. ಅವರು ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿಯ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಚಾಂದ್ ಬೀಬಿ ಅವರ ಮರಣದೊಂದಿಗೆ ಅಹಮದ್ನಗರ ಏನಾಯಿತು, ಕೊನೆ ಆಯಿತು. ಕೊನೆಗೆ ಮೊಘಲ್ ದೊರೆ ಯಾರು, ಶಾಜಾನ್ ಅವರ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಹಮದ್ನಗರ ಮೊಘಲ್ ಸಾಮ್ರಾಜ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ 1637ರಲ್ಲಿ ಸೇರಿಕೊಳ್ತು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಡೈನೆಸ್ಟಿ ಆಫ್ ಬಹಮನಿ ಆದಿಲ್ ಶಾಸ್, ಇಮಾದ್ ಶಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಬೀರರ್, ruled from 1490 to 1580 CE. After the fall of Bahamani kingdom, 5 sultan states came to exist. Imad Shah dynasty of Berar is one among them. It was situated between Penganga and Wainganga river at Varada, Tapati to north of Bidar in 1490. Fathullah found this dynasty. Elichapur was their capital. Fathullah had a title called Imad ul Mulk. After his death in 1404 CE, his son Alauddin Imad Shah came to the power. He was an incompetent king. After him, his son Darya Imad Shah came to the power, and even during his rule, Berar dynasty continued its battle with neighboring states. After the death of Darya Imad Shah, his younger son Burhan Imad Shah took over the power. During his rule, power came to the hands of usurper called Tufail Khan. Later, Berar dynasty fell to the hands of Vijayapura Sultan. Next, we are going to study about the contributions of Adil Shahs. During the region of 200 years, Adil Shahs of Vijayapur contributed a lot to the fields of education, literature, music, fine arts and art and sculpture. We are going to know about education. Adil Shahs were great lovers of education and they encouraged it. Their education policy was to develop Islamic culture. Maktab means mosques, and madrasas. Madrasas means college or universities were the educational centers. Philosophy, religion, law, poetry and other subjects were taught. Educational institutions were under the king's patronage. Next, literature. The contributions of Adil Shah to the literature is very prominent. Literature became rich in their period because kings were poets themselves. Many books were written in Persian, Arabic, Urdu and Kannada languages. Next, move on to the music. Yusuf Ali Adil Shah and Ibrahim Adil Shah II were the great musicians. Ibrahim Adil Shah's work Kitab-e-Navras was the great work in music. He opened a music school. Women of royal and rich families were interested in music. Next, we are going to learn about fine arts. Ibrahim II was a fine artist. His court had many Persian artists. Beautiful painting of flowers, plants, creeper and other nature scenes were painted on their houses. Walls of mosques and floors These paintings help to know the aspirations, interests and traditions of the people. ಫೈನ್ ಆರ್ಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ವರ್ಣ ಚಿತ್ರಕಲೆ. ಎರಡನೇ ಇಬ್ರಾಹಿಂ ಚಿತ್ರಕಲಾವಿದರಾಗಿದ್ದರು. ಅವರ ಆಸ್ಥಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ಅನೇಕ ಪರ್ಷಿಯನ್ ಕಲಾವಿದರನ್ನು ಒಳಗೊಂಡಿತ್ತು. ಇವರು ಅರಮನೆ, ಮಸೀದಿಗಳ ಗೋಡೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೂಗಿಡ, ಬಳ್ಳಿ ಮುಂತಾದ ನಿಸರ್ಗದ ಚಿತ್ರಗಳನ್ನು ಸುಂದರವಾಗಿ ಚಿತ್ರಿಸಲಾಗಿತ್ತು. ವರ್ಣಚಿತ್ರಗಳು ಅಂದಿನ ಜನರ ಆಸೆ, ಅಭಿರುಚಿ ಮತ್ತು ಸಂಪ್ರದಾಯಗಳನ್ನು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಲು ಈಗಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಆರ್ಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸ್ಕಲ್ಪ್ಚರ್. In the history of art and sculpture of Karnataka, the buildings of Adil Shahs of Vijayapura are the important ones. They built forts, palaces, mosques and tombs of monuments are Indo-Islamic style. ವಾಸ್ತುಶಿಲ್ಪ. ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದ ವಾಸ್ತುಶಿಲ್ಪದ ಇತಿಹಾಸದಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಜಯಪುರದ ಆದಿಲ್ ಶಾಹಿಗಳ ನಿರ್ಮಾಣಗಳಿಗೆ ಮಹತ್ವದ ಸ್ಥಾನವಿದೆ. ಇವರ ನಿರ್ಮಾಣಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಮುಖವಾದವು ಕೋಟೆ, ಅರಮನೆ, ಮಸೀದಿಗಳು ಮತ್ತು ಸಮಾಧಿಗಳು. ಇವರು ನಿರ್ಮಿತ ಸ್ಮಾರಕಗಳು ಇಂಡೋ ಇಸ್ಲಾಮಿಕ್ ಶೈಲಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಈಗಲೂ ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು. ಫೋರ್ಟ್. ದ ಫೋರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಬಿಜಾಪುರ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಬಿಗ್ ಒನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ 96 bastions. Bastions means the dome which were built on fort and 6 main entrances. Palaces. Gagan Mahal in 1620 CE, Ibrahim Adil Shah built it. It has 3 storied towers. Taj Mahal. It is also a 3-storied palace. Ibrahim Adil Shah II built it. It is famous for its fine and delicate decorations, and in Azhar Mahal rooms have different paintings painted on them. Next, Mosque. Jama Masjid Ali Adil Shah built it. It is famous for its very wide prayer hall. It is a common building without any decorations. It has different new style among other art monuments. Rosa. Ibrahim Adil Shah II built it in the memory of his wife Taj Begum in Vijayapur. It has the tomb of Ibrahim and his relatives. It is the only rosa in India. It is called ತಾಜ್ ಮಹಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೌತ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ. ಇಬ್ರಾಹಿಂ ರೋಜಾ ಈ ಸ್ಮಾರಕವನ್ನು ಭಾರತದಲ್ಲಿರುವ ಏಕೈಕ ರೋಜಾ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಇದು ಯಾರು? ಇಬ್ರಾಹಿಂ ಆದಿಲ್ ಶಾ ಅವರ ಪತ್ನಿ ತಾಜ್ ಬೇಗಂಳ ನೆನಪಿಗಾಗಿ ನಿರ್ಮಾಣ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇದನ್ನು ದಕ್ಷಿಣ ಭಾರತದ ತಾಜ್ ಮಹಲ್ ಅಂತಲೇ ಕರೀತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ವಾಟ್ ಡು ಯು ಮೀನ್ ಬೈ ರೋಜಾ? ದ ಮಾಸ್ಕ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ tomb ಆರ್ ಬಿಲ್ಟ್ ಆನ್ ದ elevated platform with a garden around them and the compound wall around it. This is called Roza. Gol Gumbaz. Muhammad decided to build something that is even bigger and greater than Roza. He built Gol Gumbaz, a domed tomb, in 1656 CE at Vijayapur. It has a big dome with a whispering chamber inside. It is a fine example for technology of that time. It is the second largest dome in the world and ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಲಾರ್ಜೆಸ್ಟ್ ಡೂಮ್ ಇನ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ. ಗೋಲ್ ಗುಂಬಜ್ ಇದು ಕೂಡ ಒಂದು ಸಮಾಧಿ. ಇದನ್ನು 1656ರಲ್ಲಿ ನಿರ್ಮಾಣ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಶಾಲವಾದ ಗುಮ್ಮಟ ಇದೆ. ಇದರ ಒಳಭಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಪಿಸುಗುಟ್ಟುವ ಮೊಗಸಾಲೆ ಇದೆ, ಅಂದರೆ ವಿಸ್ಪರಿಂಗ್ ಚೇಂಬರ್. ಇದು ಅಂದಿನ ಕಾಲದ ತಾಂತ್ರಿಕ ಕೌಶಲ್ಯ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಇದು ಜಗತ್ತಿನ 4ನೇ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಗುಮ್ಮಟ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಲಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಭಾರತದ ಅತಿ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಗುಮ್ಮಟವಾಗಿದೆ. ಯಾವುದು? ಗೋಲ್ ಗುಂಬಜ್. Next, other important monuments are Bara Kaman, Bade Kaman, Anand Mahal, Apli Burj, Taj Baudi, Chand Baudi and other monuments are important ones. This is about Bahamani Adil Shahs or Bahamani Kingdom. Thank you.